we're going to practice changing numbers from percent notation to decimal notation and vice versa. We have to be able to do this because in our everyday language we talk about percentages. We talk about there being a 30% chance of rain, or the interest rate is 5%, or such, those types of things. But whenever we work with it mathematically, we can't work with the percent, we have to work with a decimal. So we have to be able to change them back and forth to move from our talking to our actual mathematic work. Okay, so there is a way to change them very quickly and easily, and this is what we need to remember. To change from decimal form to percent form, we have to move the decimal 2 places to the right. That's because we are multiplying by 100 to change from decimal to percent. To go backwards, to change from percent to decimal, we have to do the opposite, which would be to move it 2 places to the left. That's because we're actually dividing by 100. If moving forward, or if moving one way to the percent, we multiply by 100. Then to move from the percent, we have to do the opposite, or divide by 100. So these are extremely important right here. You absolutely have to know those two rules. So if you have to make a flashcard or something like that and just drill yourself until you know the rules backwards and forwards, then absolutely do that. Okay, let's practice. Here we have some problems that say write each percent as a decimal. So now if we're going to change from percent to decimal, we're going to go from percent, which means we divide by 100. Or another way of saying it is to move the decimal 2 places to the left. Another way you can sort of look at this is, I want to get rid of this percent symbol. So if I get rid of it, I'm moving away from the percent. So we're going to move 2 places to the left. So 12% would be the same thing as saying 0.12. Now we could work with that mathematically. So here again, do that same idea. We are changing this from a percent. We're going to get rid of the percent symbol. So instead of what we have now, we're going to move our decimal 2 places away from the percent, or to the left. So 140% would be the same thing as saying 1.40 or 1.4. They're the exact same thing. Now this one might look a little bit more tricky because it looks like a decimal already, but it's not. This is a percent. So if we want to get rid of the percent, we have to move the decimal away from the percent, or 2 places to the left again. That would put our decimal right about here. Now because we didn't have anything in this position, we have to add a 0 there. So this would be 0.0035. Okay, let's go the other way. Now these say write each decimal as a percent. So this time we want to move it towards the percent. We want to add a percent symbol. And from our rules, if you'll remember the rules that we just talked about, to change from a decimal to a percent, we move the decimal 2 places to the right. Or multiply by 100 is another way of saying that. So we're going to take this decimal and move it towards a percent sign. So this would be 60%. Since I did not have a place here, I'm going to have to add a 0. Now same thing here. We're going to move towards a percent sign. So I'm going to move 2 places to the right. So 5 would be the same thing as saying 500%. And then the last one here, again, we want to move this towards a percent sign because we're going to add a percent sign in. So we'd have to move our decimal from where it is 2 places to the right. So this would be 0.64%.